Hey, happy Sunday, y'all. What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey, and I'm Shakira. And welcome back. I actually had done a couple other videos, but for some reason they ended up being super glitchy. But you know what's really fun? Kitty is hanging out with me, and he's having his own chill time. Nice. So what do they say? All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, cool. All right, so um, going to continue on with the practice and uh, see if we can't find price action specific things and confluences to predict where things are going to go. So that sounds like a good time. Again, I'm not going to use too many indicators, but I like my imbalance finder, the higher highs, higher lows. I was thinking to this morning that I'd like a way to know what the daily open price was. So I actually did a quick search on TradingView and I found price and daily open. So that'll be super helpful and I'll draw that. And then of course, I'm falling madly in love with this fractal break, fair value, and liquidity. And I'll be turning the FVG on and off. Might even drop the SMAs on there just as extra confluence. But anyway, okay, that sounds like a good time. Let's get to it. All right, so this is Atom on the 4 hour. I'm trying to confirm, and let me actually do up a little like text thing here, right? So uh, I know what I'm doing. So step one, check higher time frame trend. Right now it's downtrend, right? And then check so I'm gonna try and use the 4 and 1 hour and the 15. I find myself flipping between the two. And then confirm same trend in I can't type in 1 hour. So let me just add this as a 4 hour. And then three, confirm trend in 15 minutes. Everybody has to be going in the same direction. No deviation. Four, and actually, I'm gonna do these in order. So I guess I could do like two. Um, I guess Markov, uh, market structure breaks or break of structures in the on higher time frames to start. So like areas, supply and demand zones that I'm thinking about for um just to make sure I know where the heck I am. And then going to lower time frames to find similar areas. Check price action and make some decisions. So, we're looking for multiple confluences, right? So basically, just type this out, confluences. So what that means is I'm looking for MSBs, breakup structures, imbalances, Quasimodos, SR flip zones, um, uh, fib retracement stuff. And that's more for entry, right? Like if they all kind of come together, entries, etc. Right? Oh, even failed supply or demand zones, right? Like breaker blocks. All right, so that's what we're gonna try and figure out. Let's take the bold off of that. All right, cool. So let's just have that high level thought, kicking it. Now I'm also casting this to my TV, so you might see me look up so I can see everything bigger. All right, so we're on a downtrend. Got a couple of nice touches on this guy. And yes, I really love this. I can't keep saying it so how much I really enjoy this fair value void liquidity thing. I mean, it's showing me my breaks. I'm confirming my sells. It's showing me my order blocks, which are amazing. I don't have to like search for them. That's super helpful. All right, let's see how I can do with looking at this giant T. Oh man, that's so much better in my eyes. All right. So on the 4 hour, we have this. So we're looking for strong breaks. So we have this strong break here. Um, and let me adjust since we need to. I take the wicks into consideration. And there's a imbalance below it. So I put order block imbalance that creates a dragon fruit. That's good. Then there's the higher low and the lower high that created it, which is technically a uh, Quasimodo as well. Uh, so then I'm not going to draw it, but I'm just going to go ahead and drop that in here as well, since they come together. And all these juicy imbalances down here. And so that's going to be a supply area. And I'd marked out this SR flip area as well. So I need to see at least 3 to 4 times where price came to it and got rejected off. So let's take a look here, right? So came, rejected, came, rejected, 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 then busted through with some good momentum, rejected in the opposite direction. So what was resistance has now become support, and rejected, rejected, and now looks like we might bust out of here. So let's see what we can find. So there's this guy, and there's this. Is that juicy? This break, that's an SR flip zone. Um, it's a nice clean break. Entry imbalance below. There's also this one. That's too close. So let's also bust out this demand area as well, so we don't lose it. And luckily for me, I don't know if you can. Let me look at the TV. I'm used to doing that. Okay, then that just looks crazy when I try and do it all at once, right? I think my mouse is there's an imbalance below it. And then there's looks like there's a failed breaker block right below it too. Ooh, that's nice. A couple of things just came in there. So we have it's a demand OB plus the imbalance that's just right below it. And then we have a breaker block. I think I'm gonna draw that out. And let me get this guy. One day I'm not gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? Not mean. So we got this breaker block, EB, and let's change. Set this to like a neutral. I don't know, purple or something. Okay. All right. So here we've got dragon fruit, breaker block, imbalance. Three beautiful things. Price may come back down here later. Not may, definitely will. Just for funsies. And what is this green thing? Why? Oh, I think this is another SR flip area. Rejected, rejected. Yeah, so a potential SR flip area. Let me just type that out. So I'm just going to go potential SR flip zone. Prepping for these trades can take a while. All right, so that's on the 4 hour, looking like we're coming in for some kind of breakout. Let me zoom in here so I can see it. Might be easier for me to look at the laptop. I don't know if I can look. I think I should cast like some other coin I'm watching, and then the one I'm working on should be elsewhere. Okay. And so up here we've got this supply area, but it's on a downtrend, so potentially price could break out, smack it, and then plop right back down. Okay, so let's head to the 1 hour and take a look at what's happening on the 1 hour. And I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So on the 1 hour, I'm not gonna leave this one, but so looks more like a consolidation, right? So let's do this, but it's moving upwards. So I was gonna be lazy about it. Not enough touches, or is it? Hold on. Let's zoom in. So we have that one, 3 touches. Well, pull this one up. Now we have three touches, three mostly. And if I adjust this one down a smidge. Okay, so three touches going up, so that should be decent enough. And so now we just get to watch price. So what do we do? Ooh, okay. All right, so this is that daily open thing. So it opened at 13.05 at the time, and we're currently at 12. So it shows price, the daily open, and then actual price as it is. So where are we? Saturday, October 1st. Okay, cool. Not too far. All right, so we broke out of this puppy, and hold on. Let's sometimes I forget that I let me do this. And let's move this over so I can sometimes it's adjusting these things. So we're in this demand order block, right? So and let's zoom in again. I found that if you put it on auto and start zooming, that's where you get the candles quite big, and then you take it off. And like that's good. I was having a freaking conniption about that. All right, so we're in this demand order block. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the FVG so I can. Ugh, that's gross. That's better. Okay, so imbalances. All right, so this has been going down and it's broke this level, and we've got this whole imbalance area down below, and this guy. Okay, so it's just broken that level. Nothing to do, nothing to see here. Okay, so that's telling me, ooh, that's all the way up on that doji. It's telling me that they don't want lower prices, at least not in this direction, not at the moment. Okay. Hmm. Let's see what the next candle says. So it's coming back up. That's what I'm saying. Like whenever you see these breakouts, like sometimes yeah, they can break out and go, but if it's gonna retest and then continue down, then fine. So once it breaks like this level, then you can take your trade. Is what I'm thinking. So let's see how that plays out. Okay. So and just kind of hanging out. All right, coming back up. No. And this is probably telling me that price is gonna this doji here is giving me some clue that we probably might not go much lower, but let's see. Okay, got a nice semi-bullish engulfing candle here. Oh, guys, did I forget to draw my Fibby? I always forget to draw my Fibby. Okay, so let's plop this puppy in. I'm gonna take the that out because there's too many colors going on right now. So let's draw our Fibby from this high to this swing low. Mm, I always do it in the wrong direction. So if I feel like price is going to go in the opposite direction, that doji's telling me potentially it's going in the opposite direction. So that means a potential entry to go up. This would be our sweet spot. Um, Normally, what folks would say is like, break above here to go up to this area right here. Um, uh, we'll see. We'll see. So bullish engulfing so far. Okay. All right. Another green candle. We breaking back in. I'm gonna zoom in some more because my eyes, I'm getting old. All right. So if it's going down, then it should bounce back down from here. And looks like it's breaking back into the level. So this is a semi-decent break with this order block here to continue down. Got one, two. Okay, let's. Oof, bearish engulfing at this level. It's not a bad signal. Let's see. All right. So bearish engulfing. Next candle is red. Uh, what am I thinking for entries here and targets even? So as we see this second red candle, tried to go up, but the sellers brought it back down. It closed below this other one. So look at a third one that looks like that. Okay, still up. Nope, it's a green candle. Still not, still can't close above it. And looks like we're scrolling down back to the daily open. Okay. Hmm. So like seeing this coming, bouncing off this level, I don't know if I would have taken this, but and I remember what I said about waiting for it to break down past like specific level because right now we're in the demand zone and it looks like it's failing, right? To bounce it back up. We've been bouncing around in here for a while. We're expecting a bounce, boom, 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 back up. But that hasn't happened. Just keep going down. So still not seeing a good reason to enter a trade. Rejection. We're at the point eight. Um, and let me see here. It's the part that I'm trying to work out. Zoom in. So price is technically getting rejected about this little level here, right? Let's change that. Let's make that yellow. Let's make that yellow. And so for me, if price needs to fall below here for me to enter into something, if I think it's going down. So we got, oh, okay. So that's a nice strong candle. They push back about a third of it. So now I would try and enter into a short. What's my target, right? So, um, so enter here, put this above here. Actually, yeah, a little bit more. Oops, wrong thing. If this is gonna work out, enter here. And this is ignoring my fib, right? I'm being an idiot and ignoring my fib. And popping this up here, above here. Okay, and what is that? What is it? What have I drawn in this? Whoops, zoom out and scroll down, zoom out. Whoops, I'm doing the right zooming. Sorry if my zooming skills are off. It is. Okay, so here's an SR flip area where it could like either punch through or bounce and go that way. And let me move this over so it's like they're all within spaces so I can see. There's also a breakup block here, so it's a great spot for a reversal back up. So this is all kinds of wrong. So let me see if we can't write this down to this SR flip area. And let's double check to see if there's an imbalance over there. I'm just going to do the imbalance zone. Awesome. And then I'm going to, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to zoom back in. Sorry, guys. And then I'm going to do this. Okay. And then I'm going to come down and then I'm going to put this back on. Okay. So we've got an SR flip zone, we got an imbalance here. So what's the risk to reward ratio if we come down to like say the middle of this imbalance? That's 1.49. If I wanted 1.2 risk to reward, let's go to this imbalance down here, see if we can get that to work. All right. And let's let her rip. Come on. Come on. Up. Hold on. Okay. So looks like mm, if I left this open, stopped out. So you see that whole concept of being greedy? That's why I would have gotten stopped out, right? But look how close we got. So if we take in the first imbalance, which was actually right about here, and then made her stop just above this area, that would have been fine, right? That would have been 4.23. But oh, sorry. What am I talking? That one. That would have been 1.94, almost 1 to 2. So not bad. And that would have worked out like gangbusters. All right. Okay. So that's the part that I'm trying to make sure I'm not losing my herd over, right? The take profit needs to be at an area that's oh, and I'm being stupid because I should have gone. I missed a step, didn't I, guys? I didn't go down to the 15 minutes after I saw that beautiful red candle to confirm the entry. So let's go down to the 15 minutes. Then there should have been another break on the 15. Yeah, look at that. Look at that beautiful break right there. It's not the best, but it's a nice break here. And actually, there's one here too. And that would put my entry a little higher up if I looked at the 15 minute for this break right here for an entry. We probably had an imbalance. So if I could have just followed my own process, I would have put my entry like somewhere about halfway. eh, Finding halfway is not quite right. Maybe a little further down in the break, and I would have gotten in barely. And then I could have set my stop loss above this instead, which is better and tighter. And then that's where my ratio would have been better. So that's another lesson learned right there. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's move this over. Okay. So now let's go back up to our 1 hour and gross. Take that off. Sorry about that, guys. Let's do this. And so we have this demand zone and this SR flip area. Let's draw this over as things start to, so we're coming up on this area where it might break out. Still in a downtrend on the 4 hour. Just wanted to confirm that level. And then let's go back to the 1 hour. And so still in a downtrend on the 1 hour, even though we're trying to do this breakout. So see what our options are. So what I'm thinking is, since it's a downtrend, we have this beautiful, beautiful QML area here. I might have to wait for price to come back up here so I can grab a short. So that means that my um, fib, let's see, from this down to this low right here. Make sure I've got that drawn just right. And let's move that over. Okay. Okay. Awesome, awesome. And I'm using this with a high right there. Okay. Perfect. Perfecto mundo. So the point 0.8, this imbalance is in between my optimal trade entry area here, right? It's great. The QML um is over there. And yeah. All right. So what I'm looking for on the 15 is like an entry from over here. Now you could potentially trade this up, right? And so let me remove this for now. So what I'm looking for, and this could go in multiple ways, right? It could go like this to the 50, plot back down, and then go back up somewhere in here, right? To eat up that imbalance. Let's see how price plays out for a bit there. See if we can find a couple of trade entries, some options. And let's zoom in as we get ready to rumble. Okay, so this is looking promising. A lot of nice looking green candles coming up to the level. Ah, look at that. But it's not over the thing. It's like a bullish, what's that? Morning star, right? Dwarfing, little doji in the middle. And then it's actually, and it's also an engulfing candle. So what I'm looking for is um, price to break out of this, something like that. All right, so let's see. All right, going back to retest. Good. All right. And we came up nice, nice. No, now we have a morning star outside listening. So if I was going to just follow what the price is telling me, once it breaks over the out of this area right here, but guys, just forgot. There is this SR flip area right here. That's could be of concern. But it's breaking out, so might need to, but you need to be aware we're right out of it. We're right on top of it. So if I get one more green candle going up, then I'll see about an entry. Okay. So what do we have? We have indecision, tiny doji, hmm, and okay. All right. So got a couple of green candles going up. We did break above this little level here. I did sort of do a retest. So let's say I'm cray cray and I enter into this long position, the open of this next one. I drop my stop loss below here, and my target's going to be, uh, let's say, point 0.8, which is at this next supply zone. And what's that? 3.82. Okay, not bad. Okay, and let's let her rip. Uh, Come on. Oh no. Okay, so I've already gotten stopped out. Right there. Hmm. Also didn't do my my ATR plus this base thing. Actually, let's see, what would that have been? Let's add that in here because I really do need to, for the place that I wanted to enter at, which I, that the next candle, which was all the way up here. So yeah, definitely in the red for most of that. And 12, what's that? 12,763. So at this point of entry, the ATR was 0.127. Okay. So things that I'm not doing that I need to remember to add to my list of items, which is to calculate the ATR for the stop loss. So what was that? 0.127 minus bottom of this thing, which is 12,723. 12.723. So that would have been 12,596. So where is this? 596. Can I open that? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Uh, Fixed price. Aw. Oh, there. 12,596. Perfect. So if I had done my appropriate calculation, still not stopped out. Okay. Let's let this play out a little more. We're making lower. Okay. Still in the red. Man, this sucks. It's going sideways. Stopped out yet? Guess I did that right. Not yet. Unless I feel comfortable holding on to this trade. Ugh. Still sideways. Okay, hold on. Jeez. This is continue playing this out. Until I need to get a higher high to feel like this is going to go anywhere. These are like, yeah, look at that sideways. Oh, yeah, I don't think this is going to go. Yeah. So that's where we got stopped out. Okay, so we're 1 for 1 right now. So 3.74% lost. And for the other one, what's that? 4.468% gain. So you know. All right, so okay, maybe don't enter right after, or maybe um, have a smaller. You know what? I also didn't turn on the imbalance zones because from here, yeah, that was probably not the best. From here, this would have been the next little spot. Hmm. I, I. Okay, so let's see really quickly so we have this juicy spot. So we lost there. We'd so I've set up this one down here that has the breaker block close by. The that there's an SR flip zone potentially. I don't know if this one's a good one because so far, let me do this. So far here, because if I pull it over this way some more, we got another one. So it hasn't flipped yet. It's just been, helpful. Well, I guess here. There's another potential SR flip zone. So let's see. And I probably wouldn't have kept this open for very long because it's just once this lower high got created, I would have been like, gotta get out of here. Gotta get through this. It's no point in holding on to and guys, I did it again. Why didn't you tell me? Jeez. I didn't go down to the lower time frames. Oh my God. For the entry, because then that would have been my confirmation for proper entry to see if it's going to work. I definitely didn't use the fib properly in that one, so let's delete that. It's just okay. So my estimation, so this happened just in a smaller level. So like so, retraced, and then came back up. Let's delete that. We don't need that. Was a fail. But I also didn't draw over my SR flip zone. So I could see that it was being rejected in the area, still being rejected. Um, yeah, so this thing is still working. So that was see, I mentioned that. So, okay, moral of that story is don't, don't, don't go against the SR flip area. And I did a stupid thing. Did you guys catch it? Did you guys catch it? The high trend was down on the 4, the 1 hour was down, and I still took a long. What the hell is wrong with me? Right, Bubby? What's wrong with mommy? Huh? All right, so what did we learn? We learned that but before we go, let's see if this one's gonna flip us back or if it's gonna bounce down. So let's go back in. Let's zoom in on this price action here because right. I have it on the TV too. I'm not even looking at it. So I don't think that's gonna work out for me. Okay. So we have this juicy break. There's a failed breaker block right there. And oof, here's a juicy break here. So let's see. So that would be for going back up. And let's see what price does. Because now we're in a free fall. We can't get in. See when oof, momentum. Oh, kitty breath kicking, y'all. Oof, messed me out. Oh, I gotta take him get some little more treats. Okay. So let's push this. All right. I want to see if there's any exhaustion. And let me just add in this supply area, which well, demand area. That's all it is. There's no let me take the auto off. Let me just check for imbalances. There isn't one right next to that. So just this guy. So it could punch through that and come down to this area here. Looking like we're coming up to eat some of that. And a little exhaustion. Looks like buyers are stepping in. Right. Candles are getting smaller. Do a little consolidation here. I want to see where it's going. All right. So sellers are still firmly in control on that. So I got that candle. So there's this little um, area here. You got to see it punch through it, reject it off of it so far. Nice strong green candle. Looks like buyers are stepping in a little bit, keeping it. All right, where it's over. All right. Okay, reject it again. It's like, can I zoom in? Can I just make it stupid big so I can see what's happening? Sorry, guys. I know this is a little chaotic for you. Right. So we're at this SR flip. We have this potential entry area. So let's continue to see what's working at. All right, we got a doji indecision. All right. We got some, oof, it's an equal lows area right here. Um, it's got to be careful of that little spot there. So I'm just going to mark that out as an equal lows area. Little stop hunt action. Got a doji there, so we might be running out, a little indecision. Okay, we busted through, close inside of it. So we still haven't been rejected. So nice. Okay, all right, so that's a nice, good candle. So we're coming down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and here's a potential area for it to come back down. So this feels like it's a continuation down. So ooh, bullish engulfing. But just because it's a bullish engulfing, it doesn't mean that it's going to be like it's going to like turn things around the second, right? It could be coming back up to this SR, this demand area, which could be flipping it into a zone. But one thing to note, you look at the formation of this candle, there's barely any wicks on it. That's pretty strong momentum there. So, um, I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause at most, you could drop like, when the trend is down, if you were to like grab this, put it just below this, and ride it back up to this level right here. What's that? 3.85? See? Doing it again. Trying to set up a long. Oof. There's another bullish engulfing here. I'm gonna like ignore it for now because it's not at like a key level or anything, you know? So let's wait for it to see what happens. Reversal. All right, we came back up to the C. All right. And then we touched it, rejected off of it, making another lower high. And this looks like an evening star right here. Not bad. And it's coming off of this guy. So instead of fighting don't fight the trend if you've confirmed it in two places, right? So let's go into 15 minutes to see what this is looking like. Okay, so do we have any juicy breaks that would help? Um, on the 15-minute, that one's not bad. And usually the SR flip zone would be right by the break. So technically something like this. And I'll delete the, if it's going to get rejected off of something. Let's see. Yeah. Not two so far. I don't, eventually this gets real old, right? So there's like a little level here. So I'm just going to draw that out. I'm going to label it, but there's this break and there's a little level there. And we have this demand area. Let's change the color for that. And then, but there's no imbalance right next to it. There is a Quasimodo though on this candle right here. That's the QML on that one. And then, yeah, this, look good red candles on that one. So, and let's uh let's add in our imbalance, right? So there's imbalance down here. There's one above it. So that's not bad. So it could potentially and looks like my eyes swing failure pattern here. They're close together, so that gives me a little bit more confidence that's going to keep going down. So, and there's this imbalance, this little imbalance here. So, uh, I'm thinking making a higher high. We're going to come up here, maybe eat a little bit of this imbalance, a little stop hunting action, because and then we can enter. All right, so let's let this play out a little bit. Okay. And that might not be the break that works for us because there's this break that was much healthier, nice strong candle going through it. Probably the one I should have checked. Being able to see all these pieces though is hard. So then this entry area here was better because it combined the imbalance with it. And this short, because I always like to go somewhere in the middle of the imbalance, down to this guy, and then right above that guy. Well, yeah, right above that guy. And that would have worked out really well. But my eyes did not see that while we were just doing this. And this one hasn't been touched yet. Mm. Okay, let's let it play out some more. Do we have some equal lows down here? Yes, we have a little bit of lower high. Yeah. So let's see. Do we Okay, so there's a break. That's a better break. It's good. So let's see if we can get an entry for a short. We're coming up on this SR flip area, so might be our last chance. From here, pop this over that, and then let's write it into this imbalance here. So 3.9. All right, let's let that play. Okay. Well, it just went down and didn't pop back up. They don't always, so. Ugh. Oh my God. Look at that. So now we're in the demand area. So this one never got this order never got grabbed. But it's in our demand area with the breaker blocks below it. We've got imbalances here. All right. So what we're looking for is a market structure break for an entry that we can set up. And still a concern. We have this SR flip zone. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything. So last attempt for the day, I think. All right. Let's let this play out. And we do have other things. So if we get another break, an option to another opportunity to get in from all of our planning. So far it's 1 for 1. Okay, one win, one loss, still in profit for the percentage gains. Okay. All right. So da, 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 da. By the way, waiting. Okay, so here we have a lovely break. Perfect. So now we're looking for a short entry right here to ride to this imbalance here. Let's say in the middle of it with there's an imbalance right above here. That's dangerous. All right, I'm gonna keep it tight above this imbalance. And since we're heading down so sharply, what's that, a 4.67? All right. And, okay. Never came back up. All right, pause. So if we're watching this properly, so we see that never came back up for this one. So this one never got triggered. Came back up for this guy, this break. So this would have been a general area for an entry right here down to this thing. Man, this is incredible. Can I just say? You really do have to be watching it, right? But once it made this lower high right here, you could have done this, set it above that guy, with a little bit, super close, be relatively tight, and then set it to, sometimes a start, a little bit into it, sometimes the middle, but most of it's already been taken. So I think that created a little something, something. And then that would have been like an instant in and out, quick in and out done. Hmm. This is fascinating, guys. So we've spec'd out a few areas where price could have come back. I think it's all about the quality, right, of the breaks. So I made one right decision and one stupid decision against my trading algorithm, which was to um downtrend on the forward, downtrend on the one, and I went against it by trying to go up on the one. And then another thing I didn't do, which I've been trying to train myself to continue doing, is as you're watching the candles form, like say another potential for an entry, right? Because we're expecting it back up. And we thought this is a good break right here. It's good, it's juicy, it had imbalances. Um, there is another what is it? Another failed breaker block right here too. So there's not a bad reason for it to come over here, right? But this is also the demand area, which we thought was going to go down. So this is also kind of like an SR flip zone now for it to come down. Sometimes when you're zoomed in too close, you can get lost, right? I think. And then the other thing that I think didn't work very well for me is I did not take a closer look at what the candles look like before I thought to like get my entry in, right? So the the potential entries, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to set that. Potential entries that we set that didn't the price didn't come back to yet. I'm sure it'll probably come back to it eventually. Um, and some relief rally. This one was a good juicy break. But given that this was a bit of a downtrend consolidation break, given that we're at like this SR flip area, the concern for me was whether or not it would just bounce back. I guess once we saw it kind of bust out and close below it, then we could have entered into a short from here. These entries are fascinating concepts, guys. Super fascinating. But anyway, this is already probably way too long of a vid, and nobody's gonna watch this for a while. I sincerely. Oh, Kitty left. Guess what? It's 6 o'clock. It's dinner time, and he is like clockwork, like clockwork. Anyway, thanks, guys. I hope this was helpful, and let's just head back up to our high level. Let's take off this imbalance zone thing so we can zoom, and then let's zoom in on our notes here. See, come on, come. Okay, let's do that. Anyway, let's zoom in on our notes. See if we can here. Just zoom in on that. Why is that weird? Okay, so my eyes do not like how tiny these are, so let's make it really big. All right, so let's zoom in on our notes. So what we did, we checked the higher time frame trend. We're down. Marked off potential MSBs, so the supply and demand zones that we had available. Confirmed that we had the same trend on the 1 hour, and then confirm entry in the 15. I did that well in the first trade. That's why it went well. I didn't do that on the second trade, which is why it sucked. That and I went against the trend, so don't do that. And then I did look for multiple things, imbalances, QML, SR flips, Didn't use the fib retracement very well. That's for sure. Okay. We see some breaker blocks. So that's good. Um, so all in all, it's not bad. I'm hoping to get to a point where it's, you know, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, so on in terms of win ratios. And I'm trying to see if I can get into multiple trades um as things present themselves. But anyway, this video is already pretty long. Let me know down in the comments, what your thoughts are. If you saw something that I missed, because I'm sure I missed like liquidity, areas, stop hunts, all that jazz. I'm trying to train my eyes. And then also, being able to look at the candlesticks at key levels that could tell me what was going on, And honestly, those need to be at the higher time frames. So like if I looked at um let's find an example. Let's see. Yeah. So like right here on the 4 hour, like this is a giant was that evening star right here. And but it's was it at a key level? And the other thing is like, did I draw the key level right? Because I have this level here, I think, which is supposed to be an S either I think it's a flip zone, potentially. Um potentially. I have to go into lower time frames. But this one on the 4 hour, that speaks volumes right there. And it kept going down. Um, this one right here, wow, it is a bullish engulfing. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, it's probably gonna be even longer. So we're supposed to see if we were gonna go back up, and we could ride it back up to the SR flip zone if we get this right. So let's roll back on the 15. And this is part of the prep, right? So now we're looking for a nice juicy break going in the opposite direction, right? And a potential entry for that. So this is going against the trend. But if we don't find what we're looking for here, that means we're still going down. It's not going to do a retrace back up to here or to this SR flip zone or anything. All right. So let's see if we get a higher low. Looks like okay. Nice green candles coming in. Okay. And do we get a higher low? Because it has to go up, I think it has to break. Okay, wait. So, all right. So we have this nice juicy break right here. And so we're looking for an entry right about actually we can probably try and get an entry after this has been filled and it retraces back up. Or, I'm gonna try and be as tight as possible. Let's see if they'll take the whole thing and oops, wrong tool. And this is probably a terrible idea. Remember what I said. Don't be like me. All right, and let's turn on the imbalance finder here. Oh, it's a lot. Okay, so then we could let's go back up to the SR flip zone up there. It's the area where it consolidated. So it's a 2. Yeah, it's not the best, but I'm not trying to go crazy. We'll probably even stop here, but then that's not totally worth it at all. So let's see how that plays out. Do we come back down? Does it touch it? Do I get stopped out? You can probably vote. Okay. Well, okay. All right. Well, never came down and filled that one, but it did come down. Let me take that off. It did come down and fill. So that was a good one. Didn't come back to it. This one was okay, but it came back for this one. No, I'm sorry. It came back for this one to eat this imbalance and then continue on. And then it broke above the SR flip quite juicily. And then here's another like demand area with a QML, I think. And so it's not wrong about the direction. And again, take a look at the 4 hour like an idiot. These are turning up. It's still a overall downtrend, so which says to me I should still only be looking for longs, for shorts, and still an overall downtrend on the 1 hour with a, if this doesn't break this, maybe we can ride it back down. But on the 15, did hit that demand area and hmm, just don't like that it didn't. Maybe it gave it to me in a lower time frame because I not really wanted to go down to like the 5 minute or something. Let's see, did it do that on the lower? Or maybe that's what I need to do for the entries, right? It came into the breaker block and then it had this juicy break. Then it came, did the consolidation, manipulation. So it had this little area here for a potential entry with an imbalance. I'm sure it existed then. So that happened. I and that happened right after the 5 minutes. So then most likely I would have waited for some kind of sign. So multiple green candles coming back into the entry zone. Then see, this is the thing I need to master, right? So then this would have been the entry back up to that area right there. And that would have worked out just fine. But because I used the 15-minute, I didn't see this break right here and the retracement back up for it. So, all right. So, still got a long way to go, y'all. Gotta keep practicing. But trying to figure out where entries are gonna be, where the good entries are. We just had a plan and keep planning and then just see how it works out for us. Plan for potentials and then watch price for what it wants to do. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a an evening for the moment. I'm gonna go watch some anime. I think you guys enjoy the rest of the Sunday, and I hope this was helpful. It's definitely helpful for me because trying to understand that just because I think it's going to do something doesn't mean that it's going to do that. It's going to do whatever it wants, right? Price. So I need to be able to pivot accordingly. All right. So happy Sunday. Share out.